Today is July 4th, 2025. The time is currently 7:30 p.m. 77. We shudder when we see, through the ship's telescope, a coal-black sun, extinct, nameless, a sun in mourning in the graveyard of space, at once the blackened corpse and tombstone of a sun which once glowed in a firestorm, the Cape of Time, flinging its flames into the jaws of darkness, until it was gradually, in accordance with the laws of entropy, sucked up by the photophag, which left only cinders and shell behind. A gravestone on the empty plain of darkness, one of many thousand dark stones, standing invisible in endless night in the cemeteries of space. This sun reflects no light, but shows itself as the eclipse of a few gathered stars, which only a month ago were seen on this same spot where now this murky sun stands out, sharp-contoured like a jet-black coin, presenting in some sombre majesty a rounded profile against the gaslight of the nebula. It seems a dark circular mountain mass, in whose turgid grotto the spirit of the lamp died long ago in the embrace of darkness, and choked by dingy cinders is kept frozen in a grave of light in nameless oblivion. 78. Our chief engineer, a man from Upper Gond, an acknowledged authority on Yesser tubing, collapsed at his post on Wednesday the 15th of November. In view of his long years of service and important contributions to the science of Goldandas, his express wish to be entombed in a tube of rescue was granted, and he was duly shot off towards the star of Rigel. A large crowd followed his body to the antechamber, where the tube of rescue stood on a catafalque, and sang at parting, "Wide the embrace, the distant haven." Then they went away, and the antechamber was closed. One could hear nothing but the rumbling of the aggregate machinery when the capsule of death was hurled into its grave of light years. 79. This is the best single canto of the whole thing. We came from Earth, from Doris's land, the jewel of our solar system, the only planet where life is found, a land of milk and honey. Describe the landscape that was there, the days that dawned and darkened. Describe the men who there in beauty stitched the white shrouds of their race, until God and Satan, hand in hand, from a defiled and poisoned land, past plains and mountains fled the face of man, the king of ashes. They use that. That's the only direct quote from Aniara that is used in the Aniara movie is this canto. So, you know, it is also interestingly it uses this translation as the one for the subtitles because the movie is in Swedish because it's a Swedish poem. But that's just interesting. 80. Far out on flaming horizons quivers an eye, a nucleus, moving in pity, the distant star of love, magic, eternal. Every time it looks at the earth, a meadow springs up and blossoms. Pollen spreads day after day, blithely through joyful summer. Flowers raise high from the soil, a pageant of moving banners. The butterfly spreads its yellow draperies over the acuities of thistles. Bumblebees drone in the grass, where the shadows of straws trace a pattern. Summer wind lingers in passing, in swinging clusters of poppy. How elusive happiness is! A moment's sunburst in white clouded summer. Far beyond sentiment, high above evil, summer's bright love star glimmers on flowering meadows, the first among midsummer blooms. What better reason than this to be carefree and pious? 81. A growing sense of oppression affected many minds in the 19th year. I sat with a pen in my hand, making optic calculations concerning the traces of intensified radiation from the Lyra, which had some mysterious meaning. So, in our 20th year, we sat studying the light from the Lyra, Isagel interpreting the traces of beta and gamma rays. missing something? Great. The ironic winds of her soul, alternating with tremors of horror, joined forces with Isagel's breathing and merged in the waves of her tears. And all the romantic sorrows whose lachrymose floods roused ridicule now joined the commonplace needs in a darkness bereft of all joy. I gathered my Isabel closer, comforted by the warmth of her tears, for she was the only living warmth now left to me on board. And so towards the gleaming Lyra our ship sped on, her casing defaced with scars, mementos of the meteors we had met in the starry heavens. Isagel asked me not to sing, but in spite of this I had to hear my own insensitive voice crooning about asbestos and silicates. For the shivering, sobbing girl, I sang of the theory of elasticity. I also sang of our honored deflowered and of our lost irreplaceable goddess. Then Isagel gradually ceased her weeping. Yet weeping may be no worse than other phenomena. This was in the 20th year of the journey we cursed in our hearts. 82. An event of special note has been celebrated in space today. Our leaders ordered us to dress in our Sunday best, in honor of the law of cosmos. We climbed up 100 steps, and all the 4,000 rooms and 230 halls were emptied in a flash. In the enormous central hall, known as the Hall of Light Years, which holds 10,000 people, the others and I met again. We saw for the first time how mercilessly the years had dealt with every one of us, when under burning chandeliers we stood among the crowding masses known to you and me. It seemed as though the spirits of all Earth's people had gathered here today, in the halls where songs by angel choirs and speeches by Goldandiers echoed and re-echoed. The chief Goldandier spoke to us about the great significance of this most solemn day. How mighty is the cosmos, how powerful its secret, how puny am I. Then the chorus swelled out, deep in the hall of light years, and the people shuddered on the brink of the precipice of eternity. Many thousand wept, and a few hundred said, "This is the law of fate." Our spaceship aniara has been upon her journey full 20 years today, and many stood in silence, till someone said abruptly, "A light year is a grave." Our 20-year-long journey is 16 hours of light away across the light year sea. At this we did not laugh, no, nearly all we wept. A light year is a grave. The chief Goldandier dismissed us with a flourish of his baton, and once again we went down the 100 steps, all treading very quietly. A light year is a grave. That might also be quoted on the video. Or I might just really like A Light Year is a Grave. Either way, it's good. 83. The flocks of exterior atoms on Nineveh's stones disperse with the passing of time from the seat of the mighty. Each stone is eroded in grooves and in forkings. One by one the incised features of lions and priests crumble away. O scar-ravaged stones, keep them imprisoned, do not let them vanish. Time has corroded and licked at the mane of the lion, like the manhood which ravished the virtue of Syria's women. I forgot about that. Such a strange line. And like the saliva from rain which eroded the Tower of Han. The vice of disintegration survived throughout the vices of disintegration survived through the ages. Disillusion's carousel gives life to the rose on the grave, where the covetous tongue of the grass in depravity stretches. The nose of the stone wolf is gnawed by the lupus of caves. As stones fall to dust, so the law is corrupted by man. Every hypocrite furtively fears the sour stench of decay. When the clearness of insight pierces them, things come into daylight, like the dry, burnt-out holes in the lava which buried Pompeii. Hear the rusty trombones, hear how the zithras are playing of the Sphinx, marred and ravaged by lepra above desert sands. to comfort the races which have all seen their customs disintegrate, like boulders obscenely devoured by the merciless ages. 84. Our chief astronomer showed us a picture of a galaxy which appeared to be receding, and many sank down to their knees and began praying, "Make it come nearer, Lord!" They professed the religion of the Galactaves, and when I saw them praying I recalled how Sister Nobia once described the wide, high plateau of Dorema, where the neighboring galaxy in Andromeda during clear nights ingeniously magnified in order to be seen from the rooftops of light cities, seemed to shine like a goldfish, outlined by a giant mirror stretching for miles to the people of Dorema. 85. The galaxy swings around like a wheel on of the sh- the galaxy swings around like a wheel of shimmering smoke, which is the light of stars or sun haze. For lack of other words, you know, we call it sun haze. I mean just I mean just that languages do not suffice to express everything contained in that spectacle. The richest of the languages we know, Chinambric, has some 3 million words, but the galaxy you are watching now contains far more than 90 billion suns. Has any human brain ever mastered all the words in the language of Chinamber? Not a single one. Now you understand. Now you understand? And yet, do you? Yeah, let's go another. 86. Song from Gond. Now comes a god of roses, for the day of the rose has come, and the goddess of the lilies is here too. How peaceful when men fall asleep. Look, curious fairies appear, and tints are mixed the in the cachets, in the cachets. I should know that. The god of violets wants color. The day of the violets will come. We sink in the glens of the gods, turn to soil and to pistils and rays, and the gods will soon paint summer flowers on the canvas of our disillusion. The sooner we vanish and die, the less will the gods feel their sorrow. Our life melts away like the snow when summertime starts for the gods.